I'll do Blink 182. Ready?
Ready.
Blink 182.
I knew it. I was ready.
You were ready. Now it's official.
All right. Welcome to the JQ and Pete Show. I'm JQ.
I'm Pete, I think.
Sometimes he's Pete.
Sometimes.
Sometimes he's Pietro, whichever one gets him going.
Whichever one you want.
Welcome back, dude. You haven't been on the show for a while.
Yeah, like how many episodes? A lot? 3?
Yeah, and I took a little break. Before this episode comes out, I have like a video one. So I'm excited for that. I just got to finish editing it. But you guys, hopefully people have seen that already. And if you haven't, there's probably going to be a link somewhere. But I did a nice video with my camera in my dad's place in Pennsylvania. And it was really relaxing. And it was fun to really just focus on the music. But it's always the best when you're here. So welcome back, Pete.
Of course. Thank you. Wow, that was nice. Are you going to hit me with a backhanded compliment in a couple seconds? Yes.
Well, this is an audio podcast. Thank goodness it's an audio
There
this
it
time. Because Pete's
There it
face is all swollen.
Just the right side. That's not
You
signs of
made me
stroke,
do it.
right?
I wasn't planning on saying anything mean. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this.
You're going to do this.
Pete's face is all swollen. And he's like, maybe it's from my fabric softener because I'm allergic.
That's
great.
That's what I sound
Yeah.
like to you.
Just a reminder for those of you that are new, JQ and Pete Show. This is a podcast where we talk about music, movies, video games, and whatever floats our boat. But since Pete's here, we're going to do a little bit of everything because it's always awesome.
Heck yeah.
Last night, I played music in One Hotel Central Park.
Cool.
It was really cool. I used to have this gig every week, but now I do it like once a month or once every other month because I reconnected with new people and I appreciate them for their support. But I wanted to look nice and it's summertime, and so I asked my brother, hey, could you lend me a suit because I want to look fresh? And he gave me his linen suit. I steamed it and everything, and then, you know what? It was like midnight because I was packing. I've been like sleeping so late because I've had some fun stuff going on,
Cool.
but it just kept me up late. I was like, let me just try this outfit on, and I tried it on. The jacket was fine, but I wore the pants, and we wear slim fit most of our lives, and that thing could not even get close around my waist.
Oh.
So I spent all that time getting ready, picking out an outfit and all that. I put it on. I was like, oh my God, it doesn't even fit. So the only thing I borrowed from my brother was his loafers, which I loved.
Cool.
But it was just funny. I spent all that time. It was midnight, and then it doesn't even fit me. But it was just funny because, damn, a lot has changed, man.
Yeah. Yes. Getting old is fun.
It's funny. It's generally speaking, I don't care. So I'm lucky that I don't have to like worry about that kind of stuff because I know a lot of other people have to.
Yeah.
And I ended up picking a nice outfit and
Cool.
I'm feeling good. And that was my update, by the way. I played One Hotel Central Park. It was more kind of like, it's cool because in that lobby, I play soft music. I posted something on my YouTube, a little sample because I played last month too. It's a new challenge. I was actually talking to my friend there because she's so supportive. I told her I stopped and it was so nice to come back. It's also a challenge because I'm playing a style that I don't generally play.
Right.
I want to write rock and roll music. I also want to write like ethereal sounds, stuff like that, and chill music and stuff like that. But generally speaking, it's just kind of like alternative rock, pop rock stuff. But in that room, the way I built my soundscape was like a lot of reverb and delayed guitars. And I'll play like normal songs and pop songs there, but it's like slower paced. And it's meant the guitar, because I'm playing by myself and I don't have a looping pedal or anything, it like fills the room, or that's my goal.
What equipment do you use?
Oh, I simplify it now.
Oh,
It's
you have an amp?
yeah, I
Okay.
use a Fender, one of those basic ones, twin reverb, the smaller ones.
Cool.
And it sounds great. I just kind of got it off on a whim. It has like little effects on it. Sometimes it's a hit or miss. Sometimes I can't find the right sound in the room, but I think it sounded really well. And then I just sing into a mic and that's it. And I just felt, it's my second time in a while doing it. And I felt a little rusty. And it was funny because the pressure was on. I really think about the set list of how I feel at the time. That's how I used to do it. My first time back, I just chose songs that I knew as well as songs that I think people would like. And it ended up working out. But this time I was feeling emotional. So I was like, I'm going to put on these like really emotional songs of how I'm feeling at the moment. And it ended up being a little darker. and I like being prepared. It was
Okay.
cool. But the first song I chose was something that I've never sang before, and I don't really memorize it. I only know it as I'm singing it. It's called Sunflower by Post Malone and Sway Lee. I thought it was a good song because people know it. It's hip hop music, but they're singing, and I learned like an acoustic version. But I kind of wimped out because there was like people that I wanted to impress all standing there just to see the start of this. And I was like, I am not, I didn't do a mic check, and stuff like that. So I don't know how I'm going to sound in this, and I don't want to start off with a song I don't know. So I started doing like instrumentals, and I was fiddling along. And of course, they eventually left, and it was cool. But like, of course, they're gone. And then I found my rhythm, and they're not there by that point.
Of course.
But the highlight of that, I'll skip to the end of this because it was a special time. That's why I'm talking about
It's
it.
really cool.
Was I was singing I Want You Back by Jackson 5. And I love singing it. I kind of sing, like 10 years ago or more, Taylor Swift came up with a live album, and she sang a version of that. So I kind of copied her version because she did it with an acoustic guitar. And I always sing it, and I change the key up and the energy and stuff like that. And it was a while since I've sang it. And there was this baby, maybe like 3-year-old or 4-year-old. He can talk and stuff.
Okay.
But, and he was dancing like
No.
in the lobby to
That's
it. And it was
cool.
so cute. And he danced the whole time. Anytime I would stop, he would stop. But he wanted me, you could tell he wanted me to go. And eventually, like, his family, his like grandmother came up and started dancing with her. So it was really cute.
Dude, that's awesome.
So by that point, people left, and it was just that family. I messaged my friend, the one that was really supportive, and I was just telling her, like, it was really amazing. But even if those moments when it's empty and you kind of feel, because it's weird, you still got to play your set or whatever.
Yeah, you're just kind of chilling there alone.
Yeah,
You know, you just still got to do it.
I like those moments sometimes because I'll try out new things, and then I'll have it ready for when there's an audience, and I'll just play it again or whatever. But even if it was a weird moment, seeing that kid and then seeing the family jump along, I played for 2 hours, and even if no one was there, which luckily there was people there in the beginning, it doesn't matter. It made it all worth it. So that was a fun little update there. It made
awesome.
my week like a little whirlwind, which is cool. And I made like a happy birthday video for a coworker, but I used my nice camera because there was like a lot of new people working there, and I wanted them to know that like I can do that too.
It's cool.
So I came up with this idea of like people saying happy birthday, and I thought of like Brady Bunch style.
Oh, yeah, the squares.
Yeah, so I started asking them, like, I was like, I didn't come up with an idea. I was like, say happy birthday and say one thing nice. So everyone did that. And some people said like beautiful things, and some people were just kind of like, it was boring, a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because people got annoyed with the edit because I cut a lot of what they said. But what I did was like, it started off with like a full story. It's like, hey, happy birthday, da da da. I chose like maybe 3 or 4 people. After every video, it like goes into small. And the whole idea is to show the person visually that you are loved, because there's so many squares, so many boxes that different people sing.
Smaller and smaller.
Yeah. So that was cool. But the funny thing is, like, I'd never done that before. So it was like a new challenge, and I only had a week to do it. There's this idea. I know it's simple enough to like figure it out, but it's a lot of personal pressure because I've never done it before. So I have to learn something new, and there's a lot of things you got to do. Watch videos, take notes, figure things out. I wanted to mention that because it's just like, if I want to remind myself and whoever's listening, is to try to learn something new every single day. It can be like little things. You learn something new about a person or about yourself or whatever. But that one was like a little bigger. It's a little happy birthday video, right? I could have just recorded everybody and sent it.
Right.
But I challenged myself, and I figured it out. It ended up looking cooler than I thought.
It's awesome.
The funny thing is, it was like her birthday on Thursday. I worked on the edit on Wednesday from scratch when I got home from work. So I was exhausted from work, and I started at 6 and I ended at like midnight. So I added the final font that said happy birthday. And I'm mentioning it now because it just bothers me so much.
Wow.
The font sucked.
You didn't use papyrus, did you?
No, I don't know what I used, but it like came up from small to big. The idea was nice, but it looked childish. So all these videos like really nicely shot, and I did some nice color correction because I learned about that. And then you had this like childlike font that you can do on your iMovie thing, and it just made me laugh because I sent it to some friends, and they were so happy that I shared it with them, whatever, and supportive, and they liked it. But in the back of my mind, I was like, it could have been better. But it was like midnight, and I wanted to sleep. So
yeah,
whatever. It was a successful.
Delirious, but you were
exactly.
You were driven by your creative will, which is awesome.
Yeah. It was a successful thing overall. So that was Wednesday into Thursday, and then Thursday I had to practice for the music gig and pack because I have a lot of equipment. It sounds like it's not a lot, but like I brought a backup guitars, and thank goodness I did because the guitar I brought that I wanted to use, I forgot wasn't working correctly for whatever reason, and I had to use my backup guitar, which is kind of a guitar that I don't use because it's so valuable to me.
Which one was it?
It was my Tom DeLonge signature semi-hollow Epiphone.
It's awesome.
I've used it on new song recordings, but that's it. I don't take it out. I don't take it around and stuff like that just because it's so meaningful to me.
Yeah.
But I did it. Thank goodness I brought it, and it looked sick. So I'll probably post some photos on.
should.
Or I'll post a clip on our YouTube channel. Shout out to the YouTube channel, Kiza Culture. That's where you can find episodes of this podcast, as well as on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and stuff. But definitely check out the YouTube because we're trying to have that grow. But yeah, it was crazy because I showed up, I packed all night, it was up till midnight. I was so tired from video editing the night before. I show up and I just realized the guitar is not working. And I did a test in the morning at 7 a.m. before my shift at work. And thank goodness I brought my backup guitar, so it ended up working out.
Good. I'm glad. That's awesome.
But yeah, that was my week, which is a lot for me. I had more stuff. I had a day off and I went to Edgewater, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Where I filmed some Pokemon videos. Spoiler alert.
Nope.
No, I want to do
Nope.
it. I don't.
No.
Why?
Don't. That's what makes it fun.
All right.
Okay, one.
All right.
What'd you
Well,
get?
no, I only did one. So it's.
Okay, don't.
I'm doing it. I don't
Okay,
care.
do it. No, don't do it. Okay, do it.
I bought an Obsidian Flame Pack. Those of you, the Pokemon followers, which is probably more of you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. It's a lot of new followers. Because I don't care. I'm buying Obsidian Flame. It's an older set. I don't care because I'm trying to complete it. And it was beautiful along the water. You get a beautiful view of Manhattan from
Cool.
Edgewater, New Jersey. I opened the pack, and every time I'm with my mom or ask her for help, I pull something. I open it, and I see something shiny in the back, and I'm pulling it. It's the gold Charizard.
Shut up.
Which is like one of the top 5 rarest cards, top 5 or 10 rarest cards in that set. And that's the third one I pulled.
Dude.
And that's the second one I pulled with my mom. So I was like, oh my God, it's crazy luck. I went nuts.
Makes no sense.
I couldn't
Something
believe
really
it,
bad is going to happen soon.
Oh, dude, that's messed up.
I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
Well, your guitar broke or didn't
there you
work,
go.
So there you go.
That's
that
what
could have been a
happened.
catastrophe.
But that's my update. But it's all correlated. Music, Pokemon stuff. So thank you for listening, guys. Podcast is done. See ya.
See ya. Thanks for having me.
Let's go. Let's
dive
get
in.
to the show.
And it's funny because I was going to say we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened, and I was going to be like, yeah, we're not going to mention Pokemon or Zack Snyder in this episode, which in doing so just mentioned Pokemon and Zack Snyder. So there you go.
Oh, without a doubt. I'm just assume that you're going to mention it.
Yeah.
Somehow.
I'm wearing a Gohan shirt, by the way. I don't know
love
if you
it.
saw that.
That looks new. That's nice.
No. It's old. It just fits now.
Oh, there you go.
There it is. So Nintendo Direct. We had some cool surprises, man.
Yeah. Tell me, because I only watched clips.
I want to talk about The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. They kind of did a little trickery where your Link, right? The video comes in and it's Link and he's like fighting. But he's got his hood on. Looks cool. But it's cartoony. It's kind of like I'm going to say chibi. I'm going to say chibi in an episode. That's how you know
haven't
it's going
said
to be
that in
an
a while.
episode.
Yeah.
But it's like those guys, and it's top down, like little like fun, like chibi cartoony guys. And then he gets in trouble. And before he gets like sucked into this portal, he shoots an arrow, and Princess Zelda is stuck in like this glass or diamond thing. She comes out, and then the gameplay comes out, and then you play as her in this game. First time ever, which is
classic.
sick.
Good idea.
Yeah. Mix it up. That's why
Yeah.
that's why these games are so successful. They're not afraid to take chances.
Yeah, that's the thing. When I see like a Zelda update, I don't know if it's a remake or if it's a side thing or if it's a main thing, because everyone seems to always love it.
Yeah.
So it almost doesn't matter to me because, this seems like it's like a separate new thing.
Yeah.
It's not like the AAA thing that comes
like
out.
the main story games, yeah.
Yeah, but it's those side stuff. It always seems to be worth it in that for Zelda in particular.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks really fun. Like I said, it's top down gameplay, and I guess like the gimmick, however you want to say it, is there's this like magic building element. She has like a wand, so she can duplicate things that they call echoes, and she can even duplicate like enemies.
Wow.
So she'll like use that to traverse and platform and stuff. It looks really fun. It comes out September 26th, so we don't have to wait too long to see more stuff on it. But it was cool. It's important. It's the first time ever in 30 years almost that Zelda
She's
is
the lead.
playable. Sick. And there were rumors that they were going to do that in the Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. And I always thought that was a cool idea, and I was kind of hoping that they would do that, but they didn't. Well, I didn't beat the game, so maybe they did, and I'm mistaken.
That's exciting. By the way, we'll put links for
all
like the trailers
Yeah.
or clips and stuff for all the stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah.
What yeah, I'm looking at your notes. We have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah, it
coming
comes out
up?
on your birthday, so like obviously you're obligated to buy it.
Ah, I'm getting it.
You have
Diablo
to.
style? Dude, I
Diablo
haven't
style,
played Diablo
top-down,
4.
Pure
I want
fun.
to play it.
Oh, Diablo 4 you didn't play? Me neither.
Yeah. I do want to play that. I feel like that's like gonna be just a fun one to play with my stepdad.
Sure.
For TMNT to make that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a 4-player co-op, top down, just fun, you know?
Yeah. Check out on our YouTube page. We did some gaming in the past where we played it's like
Shredder's Revenge, I think it is.
Shredder's
It's like a beat 'em
Revenge,
up.
which is like the old school, side scroller.
So much fun.
And we played it with Bill, and it was just funny because we beat it, but it was so fun, man.
So fun.
And if you listen to that, it was just funny because we're just messing with each other the whole time.
Yeah.
The chemistry, I always mention this every once in a while, but it's like Bill should have his own podcast, not us.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
Especially
us
with
three too.
gaming.
Like us three
That'd be
together, we
amazing.
just-
It's
we
so
just
cool.
click. It's just
Yeah,
fun.
and shout out Bill. He's the type of guy so other people can relate. It's like I don't have to see him. I mean, I haven't spoken to him in a year at least
Probably since the game.
probably since the game. But like when we're together, it's like, hey, what's up, dude? They're like as if we've been hanging out for
Nothing
ever.
changed.
You know,
It's
and
awesome.
it's great. He's kind of one of the people that like first got me into playing rock music. He was way more talented than us, you know. But he was into like more heavier stuff, more heavy
Yeah.
metal and stuff. But we like connected with punk rock because he likes punk rock and the Misfits. He always wore a Misfits
Yeah.
Scully or a T-shirt, and we had like this drum set in our garage, and he would come and kick butt on it, and I would jam with him, and he'd be so empathetic towards things. Like I was just learning, you know. And he'd just play along, and he would never be like, "Oh, you suck. Let's stop."
Yeah.
He would just play along. I play
He
a
would
Blink
tell me,
182
not you,
song.
though.
Yeah, you deserve it though. You're swollen eye.
I knew it. There it
Yeah,
is.
your
Fell
eye's been
short of
swollen
gr-
for like years, dude. What's up with you? Yeah, dude. Come on, man. We got Facetune now. Let's Facetune that. All right. But but yeah, shout out Bill. He's been such a support throughout the years. So, but yeah, dude, maybe we could play Diablo style. I'm assuming it's multiplayer.
Yeah.
right?
4-player co-op.
No, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'll play that. Keep going with your Nintendo Direct update.
Mario and Luigi Brothership.
Yeah, that I saw
cool.
the trailer for
You
that.
saw the full one?
Yeah,
Isn't
yeah,
it
that was
cool the way it's like kind of free roam platforming, but then when you fight, it's turn based? I thought that was sick.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't expect that kind of gameplay. I was watching, I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually really cool because you get the classic Mario elements of the platforming, and I was like, oh, come on, man. See, this
Yeah.
is why.
It's
This
a
is
mixture of
why.
everything.
I love it.
Sometimes, you know, the Mario games are obviously the best-selling games for Nintendo, but they can come out with so much. So sometimes it can have like a reputation. Some of them aren't as good as others. And
Yeah.
just like the other games, this one is, you know, it's not like a AAA kind of game, but there's reasons for it. You know, there's every Mario game, because there's so many, there's like maybe a couple ideas that are new.
Right.
Like the last one that came out, something similar to Zelda is like the Princess Peach game came
Exactly.
out where she plays the lead, or this idea where it's kind of mixed into everything, right? It feels free roaming, but then it turns into turn based.
Yeah, it's like
I bought the Mario RPG game, the remake that
yeah,
came out for Nintendo
That's why.
Switch.
That's why I was gonna ask you, like,
Yeah.
because that was a remake of the old game. So
Yeah,
it
it was-
feels like they're adding elements of that.
Those elements.
with
Totally.
Wonder,
And that-
whatever.
Understandably, because they consider that one of the best. It was such a
Yeah.
unique game when it originally came out, when I read about it, because it was so quirky. I think they would collaborate with Square Enix or
I
something like that.
believe
And
s- yeah, something like that.
and so it has that energy to it, but it was so quirky and weird, something that probably would never come out nowadays.
Right.
So it's cool that they re-released it with the same kind of weird dialogue and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was easy gameplay and stuff. And by the end of it, it feels repetitive, but it's just fun. It's a fun, simple game, but the updated graphics just made it cooler.
Yeah.
So I was happy I got to play that and be a part of. I know that game is like close to a lot of gamers' hearts.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool one.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's like it's more about like the idea of it. Like
Yeah.
you're passionate about it, like cult classic following, and it's like, oh, we get our game. Like
it's cool that they can do that. Yeah,
it's awesome.
I see in your notes the Mario and Luigi Brothership. It's Sea of Stars.
Yeah.
Combat inspiration.
I don't know if I've talked to you about it.
I know that game, but tell me about it and I'll tell you my thing.
But Sea of Stars, the inspiration for me was like in the battling, in the combat, it's like everything's very like fun and big. So like if you do a combo, like there's a clip which I'm sure you saw in the trailer where Luigi's like spinning one of the shells, and then he hits it, and like Mario has to you have to time like A to hit like the perfect where Mario like parries it or whatever, and then he hits it to the boss. Those kind of things. That's
cool.
Because I never liked turn-based games. I mean, and it's funny because Pokemon's one of my favorite games. For some reason, that just doesn't compute in my head.
I get that.
Totally changed.
Growing up, most of my life, I never liked turn-based games except for Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I've tried more and more out in these past like 5 years because of this, a couple years, particularly for the podcast and just like trying out games I know I like. Like I knew I like it because of Pokemon, and I played some Final Fantasy stuff, but I've been playing more and more. And that's how Sea of Stars actually came into my radar because the artwork is so cool.
It's the best.
Japanese RPG style kind of thing.
Yeah.
And those are the best, right? Because Japanese RPG, they make tons of them, So they're famous for that kind of stuff. But that one is cool because it came out digital. What I know about is it came out digital.
Right.
But I think in maybe Japan or something, they had a hard copy version, and that's what I want.
It's coming out soon.
Yeah. Because I remember months ago I wanted to buy one. It says coming soon. I mean, it's not crazy expensive. You can buy it on eBay, the Japanese version, and it's translated to English. Really cool packaging, and it's probably a cool collectible. So I definitely want that. It's not crazy expensive. So
I loved it. I love that game. I beat it, and I was like, I was
telling. Oh yeah,
me and Bill.
I didn't even play it. So.
Oh, so you're gonna love it. Me and Bill were playing it at the same time, and I kept texting him, dude. I can't believe how much fun I'm having with this game, and it's turn-based. I still get surprised because it's out of the norm.
Turn-based can be boring sometimes, That's why I like the new Final Fantasy games and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
it's a mix of everything, Particularly, what's the new one? Final Fantasy VII
Rebirth.
Rebirth, yeah, which is part 2 of that game, and it's a mixture. It's you. Yesterday, you told me that you were playing the remake, which is part 1.
Right.
It was more linear and it's very story driven. This game, Rebirth, expands it, and the gameplay is like Devil May Cry. Actually, I think that one of the designers,
sick,
did that, and he was really proud of the gameplay. So it's like hack and slash, but also still got that turn-based element. You could like slow things down and like strategize the moves.
Right.
And as the game goes on, it gets harder and harder. So you have to have a strategy. And that's why there's a turn-based. Like you have to stop and think about your moves and figure out how you're going to defeat this character. Pokemon, it's a little bit easier. Just level up and then attack. But in the more complicated RPGs, you really have to think it through and figure it out. So I can guess why Sea of Stars is awesome. So I plan on playing that, but I do want the hard copy.
Yeah, get it. I'm going to get it too.
Yeah, so we got Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah, that's the last one. That's the last... Well, there was a bunch of announcements, but this one's big, obviously because the Smash Bros. Connection.
Yeah, there you go.
You must have nightmares, huh, of Samus?
Yeah, you're really good. I'll give that to you.
Oh, thanks. You were annoying.
Because I'm awesome. I was Pikachu,
you were Peach. Bro. Pikachu. You were really annoying. I hated playing against you.
Yeah.
The most
especially
fun,
in the original 64 one.
Yeah.
Like you can grab them and it just ruins everything,
But it's sick, but it makes it fun, because you and I are competitive, and it's like,
oh yeah,
it made
and then
it
the GameCube
so
one was still good. They changed it up a little bit, but you
Yeah.
kind of figure it out. And the grapple was still good. Even now, you can kind of get away with that, but they finally like changed it, so I
Yeah.
can't use that. But yeah, Samus was your guy. So.
Girl.
Yeah, your girl. There you go. Girl, guy. It's all the same, dude. Come on.
Disrespect
Yeah.
Samus like that.
I
That's
know,
like one of the
dude.
greatest reveals in video game history when she in the
It's true. You could have guessed though, because like the breasts were coming out in the suit.
yeah,
you know?
the chesticles, yeah.
I should have, because
Nobody
sometimes
knew.
nobody knew because we just assumed,
Yeah.
which shows how culture has changed.
Yeah, and you know
how I've
what
changed.
happens when you make an assumption, right?
Go ahead, smarty pants.
No, it's PG. You know, we can't do it. It's
There you
PG,
go.
but you know what happens. You guys
I know what happens. Yeah, exactly. We're
Metroid Prime
PG-13.
4. Come on, man. I'm so pumped.
When is it coming out?
It's for 2025. See, so it's first person shooter. So you're in her visor with the gun. Sick. I love that. Because Metroid started as the side scroller platform, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to play it all the time.
I never played those games ever.
Oh.
I only was introduced to Samus through Smash Bros.
You didn't play the GameCube games, the first person one?
The first person ones, but not the side scrolling ones.
Oh, I see.
So that's why. So it's funny because when Metroid Dread came out, which is a new Metroid game for the Switch, that was side scroll.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not my thing. It's not my thing.
You loved it, though.
Loved it.
Right?
I was obsessed.
I think we talked about it on previous podcasts.
Yeah, I think
you
we
were
did.
like saying how it's one of the best games ever.
Ever.
That's cool.
Loved it.
Yeah.
So I'll
play it because I don't really play Metroid games that much. I did want to play that one.
Yeah.
But
Dread is,
I'll get
so
this
good.
one. Just to keep up, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, and then they have the remaster of the first Metroid Prime.
Yeah.
I've
Which
been playing
is classic.
that. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
sick.
I never played one. I think I played the one for GameCube, and then the last one that came out, 3. Yeah, because 3 is before 4. Pete. I think it came out in 2007.
Did they announce the Switch too?
No, but they did. They did
How?
without doing it. Because, dude, go look at that trailer. That's not running on a Switch. I don't care what they say. Get the heck out of here, dude. No way. No way. Have you played Pokemon? There's no way that's running on a Switch.
It needs to be upgraded. They bought,
Yeah, it's been
Arceus,
8
man.
years.
Pokemon Arceus. Imagine that in modern day graphics. That's gonna be amazing.
But it's not even the graphics. Yeah, but it's the frame rate issues.
Yeah,
there were some rough times in Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet.
Totally.
So
I read somewhere that that's one of the best selling Pokemon games now officially. That's great.
They beat everybody. Good.
That's sick. So that's our Nintendo Direct update, which was fun. I got to start watching more of that stuff like live, but it usually plays while I'm at work and stuff. So my phone will be going off, and I intentionally ignore it because I'm getting mad that I can't see it. And then I'll catch up on some videos, and some people do some recaps and stuff. But yeah, what's next, Pete?
You want to talk about some movies? Have you watched any movies lately?
Yeah, I might have mentioned it on my solo podcast quickly, but I can talk a little bit more about it. I mean, one of the best movies I've seen this year that I saw recently was the movie Challengers.
Yeah.
Came out a couple months ago. It's 2024. The director, I'm going to pronounce his name, Luca. Gosh, we'll put the name in the notes so you can read it yourself.
Yeah, so you can mispronounce it yourself.
Yeah. He's a renowned director, but it was just with Zendaya. She's the lead. And it's then 2 other actors, Josh O'Connor and Mike Feist, I believe is how you say his name. But it's a love triangle in its simplest form. I guess that's what you would call it. But it's triangle. Pete's doing a square. Boy Meets World reference. Check off that.
It's a great episode,
reference. Guys. Yeah. Oh, classic. And it's the basic thing is like I'm just gonna read it. American romantic sports drama film. Film centers around the love triangle between an injured tennis star turned coach, Zendaya, her low circuit tennis player, ex-boyfriend O'Connor, and her tennis champion husband, Feist, across 13 years of their shared relationship, culminating in the latter two's match at the ATP Challenger Tour. So I grew up playing tennis, so I know a little bit about it and stuff like that. So the intensity of the sport was shown in that movie. It reminded me of like 90s movies that were just a lot, you know, they
You're
can make
selling
you
me.
yeah, it can make you cringe in a certain way, those 90s movies, but now it's become cult classics. Things like Cruel Intentions, things like that. And because this was hyper-sexualized movie,
Okay.
it kind of used tennis as a metaphor, their relationships and their sexual intensity or whatever towards each other. And we've never seen Zendaya in this kind of role. She plays one of the leads, and she plays a strong woman. You know, she's known for playing younger because she is younger.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big deal for her, but it played at Cannes and a lot of positive reception. So I knew I wanted to see it, and I caught it by myself when it came out, maybe a week or two after it came out. I didn't do too much research at the time. I kind of knew. I saw the visuals. I was like, I'm going to watch it, you know? And it kind of blew me away. Maybe it was the timing on a personal level because it was so melodramatic, over exaggerated, and things like that. It was just something that we needed as movie watchers. And some people might not like it because it's a little weird. You know, a lot of the scenes of them playing tennis is very accurate, and then some of it is just like slow motion shots of them sweating, swinging, hitting the ball. And you watch that long enough and you could feel the intensity of the context between the relationships of these three characters, and that's what made it unique. And what made it really special was the music. It was heavy, high intense house music that was driving.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, and I remember like grooving to the music, and it would play during weird times. It was less traditional. It would play while they're playing tennis and stuff, but they'll be having a conversation and there's this like heavy beat going. You know, usually the music is low or something so you could hear what they're saying, but it was a reflection of the intensity of whatever was going on, the tension between the husband and wife, and or what was going on in the past when they were all getting to know each other. And of course, after, when I was going home, I had to look for the soundtrack. When I found out who made it, it was my favorite film score artists, Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross of Nine Inch Nails. Now, you may have heard me speak about them in the past because Gone Girl is one of my favorite movies, Social Network. David Fincher is my favorite director, and he's the one that kicked off their movie score careers. It was so unique. I read some interviews about them talking about it, and the whole idea is like, yeah, I wanted some house music playing during the thing, and it really set a new tone, this unique tone, and it hit me hard during that. So I was so moved by the music that the weird, unique moments in the film, some of the way it was cut, you know, they're holding on some scenes a little bit longer than you would want. It was moving fast because of the music, so it took you in a new direction.
That's cool.
And the whole idea, it's just like they really committed to these ideas, this love triangle. And it's also like, yeah, it's also like young love too, and the stupid decisions you make and the things that you have to, like, as you get older, the things that you feel is missing in your life and the risks that you take within your relationships and your personal life. She was this up-and-coming tennis player that was going to rule the world, and when she got injured, she found a new passion in coach or manage her husband at the time. It shows like how she feels unfulfilled at times. There's like, you know, there's this tension, like he'll look back at her in their later life and he's like, I love you. And she's like, I know. And that was in the trailer. You know, and it's those really dramatic moments in their conversations and stuff like that. But it's worth a watch, and it's worth multiple watches to me, because I think people will be watching that in the coming years.
Cool. What's the title again? One more time?
It's called Challengers.
Challengers.
It's really good. The director, you know, acclaimed movie was Suspiria, Call Me By Your Name. Many of them are hyper-sexualized, also off the beaten path kind of thing. That's a simple way of putting it. I remember actually seeing Suspiria with one of my old friends, my movie friends, in the 34th Street AMC. Same director.
Is that where the miracle took place?
Yeah, exactly. Miracle on 34th. For real, though. That's
actually?
Yeah.
Oh, I was joking.
Yeah, because Miracle on 34th Street, that's Macy's Day Parade. It's 34th Street, Herald Square is where it goes to. So I remember watching that movie, and I remember that's a scary movie. It's intense. It's a dramatic, and it's a thriller, suspense, weird, freaky. And I don't watch those kind of movies just because it makes me feel a certain way. And my friend was like, come on, man, it's not going to be so bad. I love this director. It's going to be unique. And it was unique because it was Dakota Johnson. I'm a big fan of her. She was the lead.
Cool.
I remember watching it at nighttime, and I saw it, and it messed me up.
Oh, man.
I'm censoring myself. It messed me up, dude.
What do you want to say?
And there's like this end scene. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. It's just like there's this end scene, and oh man, she kind of goes to hell, and all this weird stuff is going down. And I left, and he knew. He could feel my energy. I wasn't speaking.
Of
Usually we're
course.
like talking in the movies, talking about what's unique and what's cool. We'll be whispering to each other, and I didn't say a word, and he knew. And like we walked out of the theater. Usually we go our separate ways, and I just went up to him. I was like, "You're not leaving me right now. We're gonna go eat." And there's a Five Guys right next to there, so we went to the Five Guys, and he put
That's
his hand on
awesome.
my shoulder. He put his hand on my shoulder. And he's like, "Sorry, bro," because he knew. He knew how
felt bad.
messed up
He
it
felt
was, and
bad.
I just was like scarred from it. I'm still scarred. The visuals were insane in that movie. There's this crazy dance scene, she's dancing and breaking her bones as she's doing it. It's really insane. But that's my memory of that director's movie.
Definitely watch this new movie,
Yeah.
Alone.
But yeah, that's my movie that I want to talk about, and maybe one day I'll do a deeper dive of that. But what I hope this entices you to check it out when it comes out. I think it was an Amazon produced movie, so I think it's
Okay.
eventually going to go on Amazon Prime. So definitely worth a watch. Not for children.
Okay.
Let's put that out there. Really awesome movie. But I see on your list, it's like movies you want to see. If directed by
did you-
John Krasinski, I saw it.
You saw it.
Yeah, it's interesting because it got critical reviews, some negative, some positive, but
It was fun.
dude, I loved it, man.
Yeah, it's about.
I think it's
imaginary
really
friends, right?
it's for the adults. It's
Yeah.
really for us.
Yeah.
That's why I connected with it. Doing this podcast, opening this YouTube channel where we played video games, opening on Pokemon cards, got some music coming in the future. The whole idea of it is to bring back my childlike self, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, my stomach is grumbling. You guys can't. Damn, dude. I wonder
I
if you
didn't
guys
I
could
couldn't
hear that.
it. Don't worry.
Oh man, dude.
Are you
man.
hungry?
I didn't eat yet. I woke up and worked out,
Oh.
and I don't have food too, so I gotta figure that
Is
out.
that why you have a sick pump right now?
Oh yeah, dude. Boom.
Oh,
That's right.
don't do that. Don't.
Yeah.
Good thing this isn't a
I'm-
video.
Yeah, I'm
You'd
doing
have
real
to
workouts.
take off the PG-13 with all those
yeah.
guns. you showed.
Yeah, I hope someday soon. But my buddy, because I've gained a lot of weight, and my buddy like hit me in the stomach recently, and he felt the like six pack underneath the fat, and he was like, "Dude, what's going on?" I was like, "Yeah, bro, doing some deadlifts." It's true though, but it's just
awesome.
I wanted to sound like a muscle head, which I'm
proud of you.
definitely not. But it's very meditative. That's why I'm back at it and
Good.
making
I'm
me feel
proud of
good.
you.
But yeah, if reminds me of part of my mission statement is just to continue to be inspired. And what inspires me sometimes is to chase the stuff that made you feel good when you were a child. And if you do that throughout your entire life, I really think it'll benefit you. And that's what that movie is. You know, this girl moves into this place, lives with his grandparent, while her dad is doing like a surgery or something in the hospital. Her dad is John Krasinski, and she meets Ryan Reynolds' character on the top floor of this apartment complex.
Right.
And it reminds me of old 2000s, 90s movies. They're definitely referencing that. You know, it goes up to the attic and something is there. You know,
Right. It's all dusty, dark. Yeah.
Exactly. And she meets Ryan Reynolds, and there's these imaginary people that she can see, and no one can see that. I mean, not people, imaginary things.
Like creatures
Whatever
or
it is.
monsters or fun,
Just-
but fun, not.
Exactly. So Ryan Reynolds introduces her to that world, and they try to do stuff to fix things or whatever. It's worth a watch. I didn't really read the bad reviews of that movie because it can seem at times it goes in many directions, but those kind of details don't mess things up for me.
Me neither.
Those movies kind of should go in different directions, should take those risks where it can be a little confusing, because then what's going to make it unique? You know, let's go
Absolutely,
watch.
dude. Just go
Yeah,
watch the same movie over and over again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly. So I liked it, and maybe by the end, you don't feel as good as you usually do in those movies. Maybe that's why. But I felt great. It's because I found myself reflecting, and it just reminded me to have that mindset sometimes, because you forget to play, and as
Always.
a child, sometimes you need those things. So that movie, I forgot that I watched it, so I was happy to see that on your list.
Cool.
Another one on your list was Dune Part 2.
Yeah.
So when you do watch that, because that was one of our first podcast episodes we did, Dune Part 1.
Yeah, and everybody
And,
really liked it.
It had such a
Good
huge
feedback.
reception. And
Yeah.
I connected with a lot of my friends through it. And I did see that. And it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. You could like the different parts for different reasons.
Okay.
But this one was like, it was the type of movie that's like, because Dune Part 1 was just a low tease. And what made it amazing is the filmmaking. Not much happened, but everything happened. That's how I
Because they're
explained it.
building up, and it's very much like a setup, but in its own unique way, not just like, oh, okay, all set up, I don't need to watch it. Like, no, watch it. Exactly.
Things happened in this part 2, and it was so entertaining. You get a little worried. You add new characters and stuff. You don't know how they're gonna. They had Austin Butler played one of the villains in the movie, and they just added to the story of each character. You got to learn more about them, and people came back and from part one that you thought were gone. Man, it's how movies need to be made. If it's gonna be like a big budget
yeah.
movie, you put all in. That's what happens when you get like amazing directors and follow their vision and take risks. And it is a risk. Those, you can make it. We love those Marvel movies, but it's a certain formula, stuff like that. This is just if we're gonna watch spectacles, this is what it should be.
Right.
There's this amazing scene where he's learning how to ride the sandworm.
Mm-hmm.
So
is that thing called the Dune?
No, isn't Dune the place they're in?
I thought it was Arrakis.
Dude, who knows?
Dune is the
just
sand.
Watch the movie.
Dune is the sand.
Dune
That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. Correct us if we're wrong in the comments.
We're wrong.
Let us know.
Correct us.
But yeah, there's this amazing scene, and it's visually stunning. He's conquering his fears and learning to be part of the people that he's spent time with, where it's prophesized that he's their leader.
Yeah, like at the end of the first movie, the people with all the blue eyes that are like that live in the land, in the sand, in the dune.
Yeah, and one of the main tests is he has to learn how to ride these things. And of course, he gets a grandfather one, I think it's what they call it, which is huge. So it becomes crazy that he can ride that. And it was just so stunning and dramatic. And just if you're going to watch, just watch that scene.
Epic.
You're going to love it.
Cool.
Watch that movie. Another one on your list is Bad Boys.
Yeah,
I didn't see that. I would like to see it, though. It looks like a fun.
Yeah, we have to. We grew up with them. Like those are our guys.
For a long time, because I grew up listening to hip hop, but for a long time, I only listened to older hip hop. I liked that they weren't talking about, or at least the popular. They weren't cursing. We're talking about bad things like that.
Yeah.
It was more about partying and having fun and being young.
Right.
And he was the representation of that. I mean, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was my top 5 favorite shows of all time, and you know what? I'm gonna start rewatching it. I think that's on Max.
It's such a good one to revisit because it gets heavy too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You get that good spectrum.
Dude, it's crazy. Those '90s movies. It's like the funniest, stupidest stuff, and then it gets so heavy for no real reason. Really weird. Yeah, and then it's like return to form for Will Smith, who's been out of the picture. So it's nice to see that this movie kind of brought it back, and I think it's been very successful. And we haven't seen Martin Lawrence since the last Bad Boys.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the last Bad Boys at 86th Street AMC, and I went, and the theater wasn't playing it. It was like messed up. So like a bunch of us left and told the managers, and they fixed it. And then they gave us one of those like free movie tickets on the way out. So I like that I have these random movie memories.
You have a lot of cool movie experiences.
Yeah. So that's how I rediscovered Manhattan, which was really cool. I made a couple friends, and we would plan our day or our week. It's like, you want to hang out on Saturday? Yeah. Okay. Well, these movies are playing. So we'd watch one movie in 34th Street Herald Square, and then we go grab a bite to eat on the way downtown to watch another movie, and then like finish it up in 42nd Street or something like that. So it allowed me to rediscover New York City, and I think that's another reason why I love watching movies.
Yeah, you have a good emotional attachment to it, not just the film itself, the experience of going to the theater, which is unmatched. Sorry.
Yeah, people don't do that. I have a fun friend who's Michael is his name. He's been on the early episodes of the podcast. He's like, movies? You watch movies? Like, no, I watch TV. And we both laugh because he'll just be like, yeah, I'll just binge watch a TV show that's like 8 hours, but I can't sit down and watch a 2-hour movie.
It's nuts.
Which is funny because I get it, right? I get it because I'm part of the same world he's in. But it's also, because I have that emotional attachment, I can do it. And I love the form of fitting this narrative in a 2-hour thing. Now, they are getting longer, I will say that. But just how he compared it, it's like we'll sit down for 5 hours watching 5 episodes of a TV show. Why can't we do it for movies anymore? But it is the movie. My movie experience is different. I try my best to use art to discover the world. That's just how I've always done it, and it allows me to connect with people that I don't usually connect with or learn about and travel and do this stuff. I learned about Bob Dylan at the same time I started going to the West Village, walking on the same streets that he walked in, going to the same clubs, Cafe Wah and stuff that he walked in. So I've discovered New York City and have those memories through music. And that's what makes it. That's what makes me connect through it, through movies, Even video games now, they're just so realistic, and the narratives of that, it's the same thing. I consider Last of Us one of my favorite games of all time. That it was the start movie elements
Right.
within video games. What a cool thing.
Yeah,
You know, that's
it's-
why we're here talking about this.
Exactly. It's so much more cinema. It's a playable movie. It's its own unique thing that.
And they
really-
announced the character for Last of Us Part 2, the girl that's going to play
Abby.
Abby.
They
Yeah,
did.
and forgot her name, but she was in the running to play the main character of Last of Us because she
Oh.
there was interviewed. She's like a fan of the game. She's like, I would love that. And everyone in the internet's like, I want her. I want her. I want. She was the lead in the Olivia Wilde directed movie Booksmart. Forgot her name. She's great. She was on a TV like a sitcom, and that's how I discovered her. As you're looking up the name, but she is perfect. She was perfect for that. So it's so cool. It's the producer's way of listening to the audience. It's like, okay, we didn't choose her. The other girl is amazing, perfect for the role. I get why, you know. And that's the thing. As fans of these things,
Yeah.
particularly for like sci-fi movies and stuff like Star Wars, fans can get so connected to things, and it ruins the experience because they just like want things their way, which is absolutely ridiculous, you know.
Yeah.
They chose her as Abby. So if she eventually became a part of the world, and it's going to be so cool, and I think she's going to be perfect for that. Do you have her name?
Is it Caitlin Dever?
Denver.
Yeah.
Caitlin Denver, I think.
Dever.
Okay.
Denver.
There you go. She's so cool. And I'm so happy that she's going to be a part of it. I loved The Last of Us. I may have talked about it. There was some dumb controversies about the show, and even like we felt different about certain things, but
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing, man. That's what good stuff is. You're just taking risks. Not everybody will like it, you know, and not everybody will like it for the dumbest reasons, but it doesn't matter because you know overall that it's a really cool idea that they took this video game and made it accurate to the game, which overall satisfied most of the fans.
Yeah.
Episode 3 though completely expanded, and I loved it. Some people didn't, but it was but it also is its own thing. You don't have to play the video game. It's just
Right.
it fits with the times of the kind of shows that we're watching and stuff, and that's what made that game so special. Like they made a TV show 10 years later, and it still works. And that's how futuristic that the narrative of that game is to me.
Yeah, they broke new ground on this. I don't know. Do you even call it a new genre of game? Like Uncharted, like the Naughty Dog style, like
Yeah,
narrative, like cinematic style storytelling.
probably. Yeah, I would say it's like a new style because they didn't do that always. You know, they
Yeah.
tried, but it's a whole new thing, and I love it because it's like
Yeah.
you don't have to be a gamer to play those games because it has such a cool story. You want to continue it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. You're there for the story more, almost sometimes even more than the gameplay itself.
Yeah, exactly. So let's top it off with music. Some music recommendations. Your songs of the day.
I want to do another Boy Meets World / Girl Meets World. Our girl Maya. What's her real name? Oh, Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm a big fan. I've been following her music career for a very long time. So
Have you?
It was such a surprise to see her on your list. But that song has just been a part of summer. There's always a summer hit.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
It was so surprising. I mean, I guess I should have been surprised because she's been putting in the work these past couple of years
Yeah.
that she finally like hit that cultural zeitgeist. Why did you put that on your list? Because I have a lot to talk about for that song.
Because it's Maya from
Period.
Girl Meets World. No, well, that and I've been hanging out with my little cousin and she loves it. So I've been
Oh,
brainwashed.
that's cute.
And I was like, who is this? Like, I must have listened to it like, I don't know, 20 times. And I'm like, but who is this?
Yeah,
She told me the
love it.
name. And I go, wait a minute, Maya? She goes, yeah. But it's funny because made her watch Girl Meets World. Like, we watch it together. I didn't know I was listening to the song. I had no idea. You know, I'm just like, all right. let
That's
her,
even
like,
better. It
listen to
stands
music.
alone,
Yeah.
right?
So it's
Good
funny,
recommendation.
but yeah,
yeah, it's also a
Espresso.
pop.
I like
Yeah, it's a pop
coffee.
song. Oh, who doesn't, right? But they put that. I want to put her name on the header of the title because I want unique, like a lot of pop music fans to listen to this episode. maybe they won't like some of it, but we are talking about something that they do like, so check it out. My
Yeah.
connection to that, besides the Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World reference, because I followed her for a while and I've seen her grow into an adult and make more and more music. Music seems like it's her main passion now.
Yeah.
Some stuff I don't really talk about, but like the Olivia Rodrigo, which you guys know is one of my favorite pop artists now. Her first album was a huge hit, and what its main focus was about her ex-boyfriend. You know, after they broke up, he started dating someone 2 weeks later. That's like the line in her music. And it's rumored that Sabrina Carpenter was that someone. Throughout the past couple of years, you know, because people are crazy on the internet, they just kind of hated on her and hate on her. And I bet you it made her career a little bit harder, you know, stuff
Probably.
like that.
Or helped.
Put her in
like,
the limelight for negative things.
Yeah.
It could have helped because she's in the conversation, but
Right.
she hasn't had like hits from anything. And I bet you that made things harder for her. So it's kind of a bummer in that way. But you know, you keep going, and she eventually got a opening act for Taylor Swift tour, and it put her on the map. And I watched a lot of those clips because if you guys don't already know, because I've done like 3 episodes on Taylor Swift, I think she's one of the best songwriters ever. And if you don't like her, you're just hating. Simple as that. Because there's at least. Yeah, there you go. Of who? Of your football team?
As an Eagle fan, you know.
I'm okay with that.
I'm a little
sports
weary.
I get it.
I'm a little.
Okay, that's a whole nother world, and I support that.
I love it. Thanks.
Yeah. Because sports, man, I get intense, man. Boston Celtics won, and I'm a New Yorker, man. It's just freaking annoying.
It hurts.
But it also, it's like, I'm such a basketball fan. I understand they are just such a good team this year. But yeah, so she opened for Taylor Swift. And the biggest tour of the past decade, for better or for worse. Check it out on Disney Plus. It's there. It's really cool. And she just got a whole new acclaim. And actually, our previous episode that should be out by now, Gracie Abrams. This is a reference to you, Pete. She's an amazing singer, songwriter, off the tutelage of that Taylor Swift sound, acoustic sound, kind of Lord sound. Also, she's daughter of J.J. Abrams, and
cool.
Yeah, but she's an amazing singer. She opened for Taylor Swift too, and she's getting the similar kind of acclaim, but she's not really making like poppy pop music. You know, it's more singer songwriter stuff.
Cool.
So it's different kind of acclaim. But Sabrina Carpenter was making pop music, and when I heard this song, it was funny because she changed her voice. It's a very sensual voice. And sometimes I like that in music, and sometimes it's just distracting for me. And so when I first heard it, it's undeniable. It was catchy, but I kind of ignored it because I was like, all right, singing in that voice, and it's cool, but I just know it's a pop song, and I may not have to consume it. But it started going everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I listened to it more, and I was like, this thing is super catchy.
Yeah.
And what solidified it, I was rehearsing for last night, and I wanted to play some more modern music. So I started learning that song because this band called The Wallows, which I mentioned in my previous episode, I recommended their album, really good, covered it. They covered Espresso. And it was so good. It was really simple. So I was like, I could learn this. I could figure this song out. I couldn't figure it out. It was funny because I had it on my list. One of my other friends that was watching me in the hotel, she's the manager. She was looking at my set list. I was like, pick a song. And in the very, very bottom, and I remember like I indented it, and so you can't really see it because I couldn't figure it out, was Espresso. And she's like, oh snap, you learned that because we were humming that song last week. I was like, I'm not there yet. I wanted to play it here, but it's not ready. I can't figure it out quite yet. Just because it's using a lot of seventh chords. I don't usually play like that kind of stuff. So it's a new challenge, and that's why I wanted to learn it. I figured it out, but I'm not confident to sing it in front of people yet. But I love it. So when I heard the Wallows version, I thought it was so perfect. And so between the two songs, there's like an alternative acoustic rock version of that, and then there's like the pop version. And I watched her play it at Coachella this year because they live streamed the Coachella concerts on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. It was sick.
Yeah, it's just cool to see her in that element and finding that kind of success. We watched her in Girl Meets World like 10 years ago, and she was a kid there. And now she's an adult, and it's really cool to see that. See her back in the limelight. It's funny that that's your song of the day. That would have been mine.
No way.
That's why I was just kind of shocked.
Hey, so we're gonna pick the same one, or you have a cool sneaky one?
Nah, I'll have other ones. My song of the day, a song called Big Blind by the story so far. I want to like stick with the. Oh man, I almost played it by mistake.
Oh, we
I wanna-
got
I've
pinged.
just in these past couple months, I've just needed guitars in my life. I cut out a lot of hip hop, although recently I've been listening to a little bit more hip hop. My friend recommended a lot of modern reggae music, so that was really cool, and so that's really nice to have it back in my soundscape. But I just needed guitars. I needed punk music. Blink came out with a new album. I talked about that. I consumed that. Alkaline Trio. All these bands are even The Offspring. I could add that, but they announced a new album, came out a new single. But the story so far, it was a band that is in yours and my landscape for a long time. You probably listened to them a little bit more than me. I think you listened to them in passing,
Yeah,
but I never
probably.
listened to them because they're just kind of like I did at when I first got into it, but I slowly just start picking the best versions of the genres. You know, as you get older, I don't want to spend time digging through music, although I love it, but
Right.
sometimes you don't have the time. Story so far is one of those bands that was in the genre, consistent. They came and went, but they were like always revered by fans. And I'll hear songs and then I like it. It's more modern sounding, but they recently came back. I mean, years ago with new music. I think the album they came out with that a lot of people gravitate towards came out in 2018. It's called Proper Dose. Put them in like the modern landscape, modern mixing and stuff like that. And with their sound, it's like classic punk pop, modern punk pop, Newfound Glory esque, super melodic. They can even be heavier than old school punk pop. So it was so catchy. But then they came out with Big Blind as a single. There's a playlist I listen to at Apple Music called, I think it's called Rise and Grind, and it plays a lot of fast paced punk music, and it was on there. And I just could not stop listening to it. And it just, you felt good.
That's the
It's-
best.
You just feel good. And that's my whole energy right now. I need guitars, I need fast stuff, and I need to feel good. In my last episode, I recommended more like throwback style punk pop music by the band called Between You and Me. They did a collaboration with Knuckle Puck, another modern punk band called Kill My Vibe. Reminded me of driving out in the summertime in your car, with your girlfriend. This story so far just reminds us of, I mean, I remember seeing their artwork on t-shirts all the time when I went to punk rock shows. They were always around, so it's just cool that I'm rediscovering a new/old band. And I didn't know that the lead singer of Story So Far did like a side project. The name of the side project band is called No Pressure. They came out with an album in 2022, self-titled, called No Pressure. And it was so freaking good. Modern punk. It reminded me of modern style, I guess, Neck Deep, which is one of my favorite modern punk pop bands. Someone on like the punk rock Reddit was like, if you want to listen to Blink-182's Dude Ranch with a modern mix, and it's a little bit heavier, listen to the No Pressure album. I didn't know that it was the same vocalist. I should have. It sounds
because you
they sound the
gravitate,
same.
right? You gravitate
Yeah.
towards it.
Yeah, so when I listened to it, it did sound like a modern mix of like a Dude Ranch kind of thing, very fast, punky thing, super melodic. And then I recently started reading. It's like, oh yes, this the guy from The Story So Far, and he's so within the scene. He is so respected. And that band is so respected. So that's my song of the day, punk rock. I love that I'm reconnecting with rock music this past year or so, because all my favorite bands are back and putting them that sound back in the limelight. And also from my previous episodes, pop artists like Olivia Rodrigo bringing back that alternative punk sound, referencing bands like Paramore, who's actually opening for Taylor Swift right now. She referenced bands like No Doubt. She actually did a guest appearance with No Doubt on Coachella this year. Isn't that crazy?
So cool.
Last year, Blink-182 did a surprise reunion. Frank Ocean dropped out, and they ended up closing Coachella. Blink has been known to be a cool band and also not a cool band. It's just cool that cool people dig it. And then this year, No Doubt, band we grew up listening to,
Yeah.
closed out Coachella too. So
I like this trend more of the Simple Plan next year. See
yeah, there's this amazing festival that I should have gone to last year. When we were young festival, Blink and Green
That's
Day headlined
right.
last year. All the bands came back for that. We talked about it in previous episodes, but maybe I get to see it. I think My Chemical Romance is headlining this year, and maybe it's in correlation to the new album. They've been working on it. They got back together a couple years ago, and I regret not seeing them in that reunion tour. But it's just cool. of course, I love like the punk genre, and that's the stuff that I'm gonna hopefully be making in the future and releasing and stuff like that. As you might all know, and particularly you, Pete, I love all kinds of music. So right now we're focusing on this, but I just like that how things can change really fast.
Yeah.
Last night I was just bumping old hip hop music, and it's like, oh man, there's a lot to discover here. I want to dive deep into that soon. It just puts me in different moods.
100%, dude. It influences everything.
Yeah. I'm trying to feel cool. So
and you do. You
you
listen to a sick song like that. You're driving, even though here it's hot, like sometimes you just have to roll the windows down at night driving home. You have to. Like there's just something about it.
Oh yeah, especially South Beach when you're leaving the beach, that main road that's always in every movie.
Yes. It always has traffic.
Yeah, it always has traffic, but at nighttime when it's
beautiful.
Empty, it's really nice. And I have fond memories of going in and out of that road, windows down.
I love that.
At that time in my life, I was learning about a lot of Latin music because I was just learning about the culture in Miami. So that was fond memories of that. So I hope we got a lot out of this episode. It was nice catching up with you generally because we actually just use the podcast to always catch up.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So a couple quick updates. We have the Keys of Culture YouTube channel. That's the overall arching thing. And we have the flagship podcast, JQ and Pete Show. Follow us there. Follow us however you like on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. We also have the JQ Collects on the Keys of Culture channel. It's kind of like TV shows in one channel. That's how I kind of see it.
Yeah.
JQ, where I'm opening Pokemon cards, and it's really fun. And I still have, when I went crazy last year, I still have boxes and boxes of cards that I haven't opened. So I gotta,
nuts. You gotta call it JQ Collects Charizards now. You've gotten like 15 in the last three.
That's so true.
Episodes.
Man, our episode that we did together was so fun when you came down.
Oh, dude, I was cracking up. I was watching that on repeat. I didn't realize I'm that animated.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
so genuine.
Because I was editing it and I had to send that clip to you. Because it's just like, those are the best moments of this podcast when we are just going nuts for a small thing or whatever. I'm going nuts now because I keep looking at your swollen eye, things like that. But it makes it so much more fun, And that's why I explain to people. It's, I got. When I was telling my friends, like I got a new thing coming out. Pete's a part of it for the JQ Collects, and they all know already. They're just like, oh, then it's gonna be way more fun.
Hey.
Some episodes are like the way I see is like Pokemon and chill, right? That's cool. Yeah. You're chilling, open cards. Sure. You talk about stuff. Sometimes I get excited because I pull a cool card. But when you're around, we just mess around the whole time, and it just ends up being like the
different energy.
Different energy. Totally. You're ruining my energy right now with your swollen face, but it's weird. Yeah, just waking up.
Because I've been playing Animal Crossing a lot, so I got.
I finally connected with that game during the lockdown.
Yeah,
I mean, my
everybody
because
did.
I never played those games, but you kind of you were like. You did it before me, so I was like asking for advice, like how do people play this? I get it. It's like a world you live in, and it's super relaxing, awesome game. But do that in the real world. It's way more fun. Trust me, listeners. What a great way to end this episode. Enjoy everything. Enjoy everything. Enjoy the process.
Even if it's washing dishes. Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. Yeah. That's called be mindful about everything. Right now, we're choosing video games, music, movies, but it correlates to everything. And I hope this episode reminds you of that. Everything is connected. I learn about the world through it, and it's a beautiful thing.
No, you're awesome. Oh, sorry.
Oh, never, dude. You can't be awesome. Look how swollen your face is. Huh?
Not with Forrest Whitaker eye.
Yeah. Stop referencing him. He's cool. You and your Gohan shirt. You look like Gohan right now.
Don't tell me that. Not going to change anything. We'll end up in the hospital. What happened? I wanted to look like Gohan.
Here, Pete, I'm going to show you this. You can take a still of this.
Okay.
This is on my desk whenever I record a JQ and Pete show. And also JQ Collects.
Wow. I don't have it near me.
I'm a
Who's
Pokemon
inside?
master.
It's a Pokeball, by the way, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a like the die-cast Pokeball, the replica. It's sick.
Pete got it for me as a Christmas gift. Who's inside?
Who's in it?
Definitely not Bulba. That's right.
I'm not editing that out now.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to deal with the FCC.
Yeah, there you go. Definitely not him. No one likes him, bro. No one wants him. Everyone
You're
wants
talking
hashtag
nonsense.
Charizard.
You're talking nonsense.
All right.
You're talking nonsense.
Guys, follow us. Listen. I love you.
Love
it's
you too.
really cool. In the past 2 months, we had on our YouTube page at least, we had 40, 50. No, it's got to be more. 1, 2, 3. I don't know how to add. So, yeah. 40, 50 followers all within a week.
Yeah, spiked super.
And
hard.
I love that they're sticking around. They're definitely following because of the JQ Collect stuff and this podcast stuff. Although we've been doing it the longest, is new on the YouTube channel. I really hope you guys like it. Just listen. A lot of people say they listen while they're working or doing stuff. Do that, man. While you're working out, listen to us. Get pumped like me.
Yeah.
I'm not pumped. I'm not actually.
You're pumped right now. You're pumped. You got a nice pump going.
Yeah, I did some shoulder shrugs, bro.
Love it.
JQ and Pete show for life. Peace.
No, that's devil horns. That's a cornuto, you know? Yeah, there you go. One love. Bye, everyone. Love you. Oh, I hung up on it.